Hey everyone, this is Palm Beach's Bob, coming to you from PBTV. I'm out here braving the elements. It's hurricane season. Are you guys prepared? Do you know what to do in the event of a hurricane? Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you, starting right now.
Guys out there doing a little surfing, catch some waves. It's a little windy today. It's kind of mild storm brewing offshore. That's typical as we head into the summer weather patterns. But this summer could be a whole lot different.
What is in store for 2024?
AccuWeather calling this hurricane season forecast explosive.
They are predicting that this year, 2024, could be the worst hurricane season in the Atlantic we've ever seen in the history of hurricanes. I'm Palm Beach's Paul, your local realtor and guide to South Florida living, and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to Delray Beach. As you can see, I'm out here in the north end of the beach and we got a little storm brewing offshore, some black clouds. Storm clouds just kind of went over. It's supposed to get really nasty later today, and that is because it's a lot warmer out. We're in May and we're heading into that summer weathering pattern where we'll start getting severe thunderstorms, and of course hurricane season starts June 1st and runs through November 30th. So weather forecasters are predicting that this year could be one of the worst on record for the Atlantic region over here, pretty much on the East Coast, right? East Coast of the United States, and especially down here in Florida. They're predicting 23 named storms, with 11 of those becoming a hurricane, which a hurricane is when the winds reach 75 miles or greater. Now, South Florida has been pretty lucky for the most part over these years. We haven't really had anything hit Palm Beach County, where you see me doing most of my videos, since 2005 when Wilma hit.
Wilma's wrath.
It was the last name on the list, and it would be a storm all South Floridians would never forget.
We've had some other storms that have skirted the coast and threatened us, but they didn't make landfall. They didn't do any real damage. And before Wilma, it went back to 2005 when we had Francis and Jean. And although Francis did some damage up in West Palm Beach, actually did a lot of damage because there were so many trees that had been overgrown and hadn't been trimmed, and there's a lot of old power poles that we were out of power for 2 weeks. We were also out of power for 2 weeks when Wilma hit right here in Delray Beach. That one scared me the most. That was a Category 3, and that one, we were bunkered down in the bathroom pretty scared. But really, Southeast Florida has been spared of any major storms since Andrew hit in 1992, which hit way inland and just, devastated Homestead.
The Category 5 hurricane made landfall in South Miami-Dade 29 years ago this morning. The storm pack sustained winds as high as 165 miles an hour. The damage caused by Andrew was catastrophic.
That was a Category 5. So Palm Beach County, where I am, Delray Beach, West Palm Beach and all that, we've been pretty lucky. As I said, Wilma was pretty bad right here on this beach where I'm standing, along A1A. The sand was everywhere. There were signs knocked down. There were, was damage to homes and businesses. And that was only a Category 3. But with the increasing, weather, the way it's been, like what's going on in the Midwest with all the devastating tornadoes and the heat. I mean, look, guys, it's May and I'm hot. It's already feeling like July. And we're having a mini heat wave here in the middle of May. So now a lot of that weather has to do with El Nino.
I am El Nino. All other tropical storms must bow before El Nino.
And La Nina, right? The two weather patterns. We're still in El Nino right now, but we'll be going into La Nina in about July. Now that typically has a colder, I guess, a cooler effect on the weather. I'm not a weather guy, right? So, but it has a cooler effect, but that weather pattern could increase the intensity of the storms that they say are going to be coming towards the southeast United States this summer. Now, I've made a couple of these videos over the years about hurricanes, but this year, you guys really need to watch and pay attention. This is a video that you guys definitely want to watch, and be sure to stay to the very end because we have created a special hurricane guide for you for the 2024 season, my broker at Floridian Realty. So we have a guide that's going to tell you everything you need to do to prepare before and what to do after, and even contacts of people who can help you, like local professionals who can help you, whether it's put on shutters on your property, maybe you're older and you can't do it, to AC repairmen, plumbers, all the people that you might need after the storm. So be sure to stay to the very end because I will provide a link for you guys to get that free 2024 hurricane guide. But let's talk about what you guys need to do. There's a lot of things you need to do to be prepared for hurricanes. And, being prepared is the number one thing because, look, you get weeks and weeks of advance notice when they're going to come. And some people think, well, we'll just leave. We'll go to the other side of the state. And you can do that. The wife and I tried that when Francis came in 2005. We got in our cars, we drove to Tampa. The lines of traffic were like one of those Armageddon movies where it's just bumper to bumper. Our car kept overheating. And of course we had the dogs. And when we got to Tampa, they said the storm was coming directly to us. So we turned around, went back home, and we stayed in my father-in-law's condo at Century Village, which is basically a bomb shelter. That thing's just solid concrete. But it was scary. And that was only a 2. Now, although I said we've been lucky, Southeast Florida, with places like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and the Palm Beaches, are considered some of the most dangerous places to live during hurricane season. The reason being that this particular part of Florida is very susceptible to getting hurricanes that make landfall. And coastal cities and coastal areas are very susceptible to flooding and damage from high winds. So one of the big concerns, which we saw with Hurricane Ian, is the surge, right? Tidal surge. And that's when the water gets pushed from the winds to inland, and it can reach heights of 20 feet. So although we've been really lucky over all these years, we're definitely not safe by any means. And we're actually more in the bullseye than most parts of Florida. Although, and I'm going to do another video about this, we haven't been hit the most. Actually, we're tied for the number of storms with the southwest part of Florida. But if you want to know where the place that's been hit the most by hurricanes in Florida is, you're gonna have to wait and watch that video in another week. Now, I know I'm gonna get a bunch of comments from you people that are gonna say, you're dumb to live there, you're dumb to live in Florida. Do all these people, those surfers, look dumb? No, we're enjoying Florida. We enjoy living here. It's part of living here. Are people dumb who live in Alaska? Are people dumb who live in California and have homes that are right on the edge? And yeah, they take the risk of landslide. And what about the people in the Midwest? Are they dumb for living there? Look at the tornadoes that have been hitting this past couple weeks. That's Mother Nature. You can't predict it. And you can't hide. What are you going to go do? Live under a rock? No, that's not an option. But like I said, I've lived here for over 30 years, been through quite a few storms and a few hurricanes, and all you can do is prepare and make sure you have what you need. Have your house buttoned up, have the supplies in your house that you're going to need. Because listen, there's a great chance that you are going to lose power, especially for a big storm. And it's right in the middle of summer, and I'm already sweating like it's really hot today. And July, August, October, when those storms typically hit, it's really hot and humid. So trust me, you're going to want to be prepared. So let's talk about some of the things that you're going to need. Now, I'm not going to give you everything because there's a detailed list, and I'll provide that list for you, as I said at the end of this video. But we'll talk about some of the things that you really need to have to be ready for hurricane season. All right, so let's talk about some of the things you're gonna need, because you're gonna need a lot. First of all, you're gonna need non-perishable food and water for at least 3 days. And that's just for you, right? You need that for each person in your family. So you need to think about how much food, water you're gonna need, because there's a good chance that if the power gets knocked out, the water, right? The water is gonna get knocked out. There's gonna be no electricity. You'll lose your cell signal. Trust me, your cell phone's gonna die and the towers get knocked out and you won't have service anyway. So you wanna make sure that you have something to be able to hear the weather. I suggest that you get like a portable radio that you can hand crank that it will charge your cell phone up, but also provides a light, and also it can provide power to your cell phone. Now, if there's no cell phone service, all you're gonna be able to do on your cell phone is play games, and there's a good chance you will lose cell phone service. It happens every time a major storm hits. So, but really, if it's a bad storm, there's damage, the last thing you're gonna be worrying about is playing on your cell phone. You will want to be able to communicate with loved ones. So some homes still have a landline. I don't know if y'all know what that is, but it's one of those phones you pick up, you dial it. Your grandparents had one, I had one. So you'll want to have emergency contacts and let people know, that you're going through the storm, and reach out to those people so they know that you're safe and have a way to communicate with them. And if they don't hear from you for, like, say, I don't know, a day or something, maybe they need to reach out and contact the neighbors to see if you're okay. Again, remember, stay to the end of this video because I'm going to give you a link that will get you a guide for the 2024 hurricane season with all this information in it. But you're going to need things like batteries. I will tell you some of my favorite things, or not favorite, but things that you must have, and that are fans. Because when that AC goes out, and guys, I'm melting right now. We're like, it's almost feels like 103 degrees today, and it's only May. We're going through something weird right now. But you want fans, because if you don't have power, and if you don't have a big generator, and be careful with the generators, always put them out in the garage, never put it inside the house. So you want to make sure that you're stocked up on your ice if you have room for it. You want to have the food, you want to have games, right? You want to have games and stuff for the kids and adults, books, things to keep you occupied that don't need power. And for little ones, it's scary as hell, guys. I'm a grown man, and when that Category 3 came, and I'm with my wife and my son when he was little, and we were hunkered down in that bathroom, we were scared. Like, crap was blowing around outside, and we didn't know if it was a tornado or what. It probably was. So if you got little ones, you want to keep them occupied, you want to try to keep them calm, you want to create a safe space that you have in your house, somewhere where you feel it's the safest place to bunker down in your house if things start to get really hairy, and talking about roofs blowing off and windows blowing out if you don't have protection. So yeah, just you want to keep them safe. And let's not forget about our fur babies. We have 2 dogs. We can't take our dogs to a shelter. There's only a few shelters that will allow pets. Most of them won't. We are not leaving our dogs behind. That's just, they're part of my family, or my daughters. So you need to make sure that your dogs have dog food. You want to make sure you have all your medicine, any medications that you need, right? Those are important. You can't just run out and get them if the pharmacy is blown away. So you want to make sure you have all that. You want to make sure your dogs are comfortable. They're going to be scared. Make a safe place for the dogs. The hurricanes suck. They are not fun. And although, as I said, we've been lucky to not go through too many of them, the 3 that I have gone through were, they were not comfortable. And especially afterwards when there was no power and we got to wake up to a house that was 100 degrees. Another important thing, learn your evacuation route, okay? Wherever you are, if you have to evacuate, make sure you know what that route is. A lot of people that live over here on the barrier islands, on this side, when the storm comes, they will tell you, vacate, get out. It's not safe, you need to leave. Now, people always stay anyway. That's at your own risk. And, that's your prerogative. But I will tell you, when the winds get over a certain mile per hour, first responders will not come to rescue you. And people do it every storm. They stay when they should have left. And then you end up seeing first responders risk their lives to go out and, save these dummies who didn't leave. So don't put their lives at risk, because they have families too, and they're the ones that have to work through the storm. If they say evacuate, evacuate. Go stay with family, friends. Go stay in a shelter. It's not the best place, but at least you keep you alive. Hey guys, keep in mind, we have a lot of elderly people who live here, and they might need a little help. So lend a hand to your neighbor if you can, Maybe you can put the storm shutters up for them, or put them in contact with someone. Some of these people don't have anybody. They're down here, they're old, they're by themselves, and when a hurricane comes, they're not gonna know what to do. So if you're a neighbor and you know someone like that, look, check in on them, make sure they're okay. Be a human, right? It's not a bad thing. Man, it is just hot, 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 and it's gonna be hot all summer. But I think I still feel pretty cool and look pretty cool in this Hawaiian print shirt. What do you guys think? Pretty nice, huh? Well, that's because this shirt is today's sponsor. And today's sponsor is Allreed Hawaiian Shirts. So Allreed reached out to me and said, hey, Paul, we see that you're making content about paradise, which I do. And they saw that I'm usually wearing some kind of cool Hawaiian shirt or a surf t-shirt because they dress for the South Florida lifestyle. And I don't think anything says South Florida more than a nice, cool tropical print. And they asked if I would do a commercial for them. At Allreed, their motto is where elegance meets island vibe. And I can see that. They have a great selection of tropical print shirts, t-shirts, shorts, hats, even some really cool socks. But I just really like their designs of their shirts. You know, living here in South Florida, it is warm most of the time, so you always want to dress. And you guys know that I'm not a suit guy. I'm always wearing flip-flops, shorts, and I'll get dressed up when I have to. And quite honestly, if I went out to dinner with a nice pair of linen pants and this shirt, I would be very comfortable. It's a really fine looking shirt. And what I really like about them is they say every shirt is made with paradise in every stitch. Now, you know I can get behind that, right? Now, one thing I really liked about ordering my shirt was that I told them I need a double XL. Look guys, I've gained some weight. I'm gonna work on that. But most times when I order shirts and I say double XL, they fit tight and they don't fit nice. This shirt fits nice and it looks nice. So, and another thing about All Read that I really like, what really kind of made me say yes, was I get a lot of people asking me to do commercials for them, and most of the time it just doesn't align with me or my audience. But what I really liked about All Read is that they believe in giving back to conservation, to the ocean. They're really big into protecting the marine life and our beaches, and I can definitely get behind that because I'll be doing a beach cleanup on June 7th for Ocean Day here, and I've always taught my kids to keep the beaches clean, and we don't throw our trash, we don't leave any fishing stuff behind, even fishing lines. So I can totally get behind a company that has those same values as I do and my real estate company does. So if you want to get a really cool tropical print shirt, they have some really cool ones. I saw one with tikis on it that was really awesome, and all sorts of other prints. Be sure to go to their website. I'll put a link down below so you can go check them out. And as a special gift to you, my loyal followers, if you put in the code Paul, that's it, just like Palm Beach is Paul, you'll get 15% off your order. So go check them out, support them, get a cool shirt, take a photo of it, send it to me, let me see what you guys look like in your shirt. And I may have to get a couple more as they have some really cool ones on their website. So, and I appreciate you guys watching. All right, let's get back to talking about hurricanes in paradise. I told you guys I would give you a link, and we're almost there, but this link will give you guys a guide to everything you need to be prepared for hurricane season. And that link is right here. So be sure to click the link, get the hurricane guide. It's packed full of information that can definitely help you guys out, be prepared before and after the hurricane. It's got lots of numbers in there for people you can call if you need them, and just a lot of good information. And that's our gift to you to help you get ready for this hurricane season. Even if you don't live here and maybe you know someone who does, you can get it and send it to them. But all right, well, you guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if you think 2024 is going to be the year that Florida gets blasted by hurricanes. I certainly hope not. It's really crappy for my business and for everyone else, and insurance and all of it. But it is a fact of living here in Hurricane Alley that we could get hit, and we are overdue. So we'll see what happens. All right, guys, be safe. Stay tuned. Keep watching. And wherever you are in the world, get out and enjoy paradise, even when it's kind of ugly like today.